Our next speaker is Vernon Oickle, who needs no introduction on the South Shore. Vernon was born and raised in Liverpool, Nova Scotia, where he continues to live to this day. He started work with the, as they say in Liverpool, the Advance, as a reporter before becoming the editor there, and before becoming being moved to Bridgewater to become the editor there for 20 plus years. During his time as a newspaper, Vernon, both the paper and Vernon personally have won almost every conceivable award that you could win as a weekly newspaper. Vernon won the prestigious Golden Quill Award for Best Editorial Writing among its international membership, becoming only the third Canadian and the first Nova Scotian to win that award. He was also recognized with a Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Medal, recognizing his contributions not only to his community and province, but to the country. In addition to being an award-winning journalist and editor, Vernon, believe it or not, has 23 books out. You know, I don't know how many Stephen King has. How many does he have? What many of the books collect and preserve the culture of Atlantic Canada. 2 years ago, which is probably Vernon, I think, would say is his biggest honor, they named a writing award after him, the Vernon Oickle Writing Award at the Queen's School for the best young student demonstrating writing skills, either fiction or non-fiction. Ladies and gentlemen, Vernon Oickle.
Well, what can I say that hasn't already been said, John? Thank you. Well, is that ever lovely? And this is only water, not wine, so. Although after hearing Nancy speak off the cuff with 2 glasses, perhaps I should switch. John, I'll take a white. Seriously, thank you for coming this evening and helping us to celebrate the important role that books play in our lives. I'm going to get rid of this glass. First of all, I should like to thank the publishers for organizing this event and for bringing together such outstanding talent here to my right. It truly is it is amazing and humbling to be in the company of so many talented and inspired writers, people whom I've respected and admired for many years. So, when John asked me to speak this evening about the importance of books, my first question was, where do I begin? In the end, I decided I would start by making a confession. I can't say that I always wanted to write books, because honestly, as a youngster growing up in Liverpool, I didn't want anything to do with books. In fact, I did everything I could to avoid reading. Even in school, I shied away from books. Truthfully, and here's the major confession, I hated books. Truth. However, while I didn't have much room for books, I did always love a good story. And that's one thing that I've always appreciated about Nova Scotia. We have many good stories to tell, and I liked listening to them. I could sit for hours and listen to a good old yarn, but it never dawned on me that I could turn those stories into a career. In a way, life's like an oxymoron, right? Just as jumbo shrimp or balding hair sound odd, so does Vernon Oickle author. I'm sure my life work has pretty much defied every expectation that my high school teachers and even my parents had for me, but somehow I managed to discover books, and I'm really glad I did. I won't tell you my final English mark in school, but once I squeaked through and eventually found my way to a career in journalism, I came to appreciate the role that books play in our lives. And I also figured out that with such a wealth of material from which to draw upon, I realized there was an opportunity for me. So began my foray into the world of books. And what a journey it has been. And as I said, I've always thought that the South Shore and the entire province of Nova Scotia was a unique and special place with stories to tell. But I can't say that I always thought I'd be the person to tell them. As a journalist, however, I came to realize that I wanted to share them with others. And I'm happy that I have been able to do so with the support of a few people, some of whom are in this room tonight. And those people were willing to take a chance on me. Over the years and through the course of 23 books, I have been able to share the Nova Scotian experience. I've written about our people, our beliefs, traditions, superstitions, legends, folklore, history, our heritage, and yes, even our ghosts. It has been both a rewarding and enlightening experience for me and for my readers, I hope. But the simple truth remains that I have only been able to carry through on that effort because of the Nova Scotian publishers who rolled the dice and published my books. I like to think it has been a good partnership for both of us. The stories I tell in my books are about as Nova Scotian as you can get. And without Nova Scotian-based publishers, most of my books would likely never see the light of day. The sad reality is this: without Nova Scotian publishers, most of my books would not be possible. I am not alone, as the work of many other publishers would likely never see the light of day, were it not for the publishers in this province. With that, I would like to publicly thank the publishers who are here this evening and all the other ones out there for helping me and my fellow authors to achieve our dreams. The bottom line is this: Nova Scotia is a melting pot of eclectic cultures with a long and rich heritage and history. That history must be collected and preserved so that it can be shared with future generations. And there really is no better way to do that than through books. Economic considerations aside, books about Nova Scotia for Nova Scotians are an important part of our legacy, and we must do everything we can to ensure that our authors and publishers can continue to do their work. We owe it to ourselves, but more importantly, we owe it to our children, grandchildren, and their grandchildren. Thank you for coming, and safe travels home.